I really liked this book. I plan on that being the last Colleen Hoover book that I read. And the author is Black, so it was an immediate win. I rated this 3 stars. I changed that to 2, actually. I rated this book 4 stars. Holy shit, that is so generous. As soon as I finished the book, my very first words were, what the fuck was that?
Angry in my comments, go off, get me the engagement, that's fine, but also you don't have to watch the video. People always tell me not to give these disclaimers. I have 9 tiers because yes, I'm extremely extra and no, I couldn't narrow it down. Also,
I'm so excited to be filming this video. I am super excited to be filming this video. I apologize for the bad lighting right off bat. The books are kind of making a tower and like casting sort of a shadow sort of thing. If I take them away, does it get any better? Not really. I'm not really here to look good anyways. I'm here to tell you guys about a new hobby that I've picked up. Who would have thought? Oh my gosh, I forgot a book. As you guys can tell from the title of the video, should I be like focusing on you? Yeah, I definitely should. As you guys can tell from the title of the video, I'm going to be doing my November and December wrap up. I know that most YouTubers or booktubers do monthly wrap ups, but I only read like 6, maybe 7 books a month. So I just feel like that's not enough for a video, okay? I want to have like 10 plus, and I am only able to accomplish that with my busy schedule. Like every 2-ish months. So these 2 months, I have 16 books to tell you guys about. Oh gosh, I didn't mean for that to get that high. Oh, there's one more. Is that like, yeah, we're definitely gonna put this down so that you guys can, is that okay? I think that's fine. So I'm gonna start off with my Colleen Hoover books. I read most of these actually like one after the other. I read, it doesn't even matter the order. I'm gonna be making a whole separate video on Colleen Hoover's books because I only have one more book by her, which is Regretting You. I plan on that being the last Colleen Hoover book that I read. So I'm gonna quickly go over what I rated these books. Oh gosh, it's on my freaking phone. I think I can log into my Goodreads on like online, right? Because I want to give you guys like the star ratings that I gave them, and then in that video, so you guys have to be on the lookout for that video. In that video, I'm going to explain why I gave those books that rating. So I'm gonna log into my Goodreads real quick. So I pulled it up. So let's see. So we are gonna start with. I'm just going by whatever is first on the stack, okay? Ugly Love. I will say that this is the book that confirmed I rated this 1 star. November 9. I rated this 2 stars. It Ends With Us. This is a really popular one. I rated this 3 stars. I changed that to 2, actually. It Starts With Us. This one I rated 3 stars. There was not really a lot wrong with this book. Reminders of Him. I rated this 3 stars. That makes sense. And then Verity was the last book that I read by her, and this book I rated this book 4 stars. Holy shit, that is so generous. Yeah, I will definitely be updating that right now, and you guys are gonna figure out what it is in my Colleen Hoover video. So be on the lookout for that. So those are all the books that I read by Colleen Hoover. The rest of the books, you guys have probably heard of them. I know that there's probably like 1 or 2 in here that you haven't heard of, but for the most part, you guys have heard of these. They're super popular on BookTok. I am not on TikTok, so don't ask, and I refuse to download that app. So I have forever beef with TikTok. Anyways, so we're just gonna start with whatever is on the top of the list, and of the stack, and you guys probably saw this in the corner and were waiting for this, huh? This is a very, very, very popular fantasy, A Court of Thorns and Roses. For those of you who don't know what it's about, should I just read the back? I mean, I don't feel like reading all of that. It's supposed to be like a Beauty and the Beast retelling sort of thing. And you know, obviously it takes place in a fantasy world. And I will say that the world building, I mean, it wasn't bad, but I feel like it wasn't good. It was more so just very basic, which I mean, I guess is good for somebody who was, you know, this is my first time reading a fantasy. So I guess it being basic worked in my favor for the sake of me being able to easily picture everything. I don't know. I wasn't in love with the book. I feel like every single review, besides like one maybe or two, has just been amazing. And I don't know, with how long the books are, I don't know if I'm going to be taking the time to finish that series. But I rated that book a 3 stars. That is so crazy because I thought I was gonna get it 4 stars. But honestly, you guys, I think about my 4 stars now and I'm just like, 4 stars is very generous. Very generous. Like, if anything, I'll give you a 3.5, but 4 stars is pushing it. So the next book that we have is Watering the Soul by Courtney Peppernell. This book is like poetry. It was a really quick read. Like, well, I mean, it would be a quick read now. This book is literally, wow, not even 230 pages. And it took me so long to finish this book because I wasn't really in my reading phase yet. This was the first book that I read this year. It had some things in here. That I definitely was able to apply to my everyday life because of a situation that I was going through at the time when I was reading this. So I rated this a 5 star. The next book that I have is Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. I cannot wait to read more of her books. As you guys can see, I really enjoyed this book. So it is ultimately about a couple who gets divorced and they kind of are just working through the feelings of, or no. They're working through the feelings of wanting to get back together because they soon feel like, and this is not me spoiling anything because this is all in the back of the book, okay? They literally just kind of get to a point where they realize that the divorce might have been a mistake and they kind of just resurface the idea of what it would be like to work things out. And it kind of just brings us through that whole journey with the two of them. The reason that I liked this book so much, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you, going into it, I already loved it because I knew that it was gonna be about a Black couple and the author is Black, so it was an immediate win. But reading it and just having that bias of like knowing what the events must have been like, what the holidays were like at the house, like I just felt like I genuinely kind of knew the feel of it. And then she also talks a lot about mental health, and I just feel like this book was such a strong advocate for mental health awareness and therapy. Oh my gosh, so good. I rated this book, I can't even find it on the list right now, but I know I rated it a 5 star. Yes, I rated it 5 stars. So the next book that I have is I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. I know that probably all of you guys have heard of this book. If you have not, you heard of this book. This was one of my top 5 books of the year. This was actually mentioned in my words just literally got caught in my throat. This book I talked about a lot in my last video because I was doing like sort of a reading vlog kind of thing. And so I did give you guys a more detailed review on this book. So if you want to hear that, go ahead and watch that video. I rated that 5 stars. I would recommend that to everybody and their mothers, okay? All right, so we are down to the last 5 books. In no way, shape, or form are these my top 5 books. These are just the last 5 books, okay? Book Lovers by Emily Henry. This book is about 2 people who, they're not necessarily book lovers. Like, they do love to read. No, one of them is a book lover. The female main character, she is a book lover. She loves to read. But they both just have, like, book-related jobs. Or, like, one of them is an editor and the other one is a literary agent. And they end up working together. It's in enemies to lovers sort of thing going on. I really do like her writing style. I think her writing style is what made me rate this book so high. There ultimately was nothing wrong with this book. The only thing is that on the back of the book, it says a plot twist they didn't see coming, ... So the whole book, I was waiting for this like crazy plot twist, and it wasn't really a plot twist. It was more so just like when you read it, it's just like, ooh, damn. But it wasn't anything crazy. So I would say because of that, I just feel like I hyped it up for myself. I don't know, but it was really cute. Like there was nothing really wrong with this book, but I didn't love it enough for it to be 5 stars. I probably rated this like 4 stars. Oh, I rated this 3 stars. I think it deserves a 4 star. Next book I have is Honey Girl by Morgan Rogers. I really liked this book. This book made me cry, actually. And it made me cry because it was more so because of like what I was going through. Like I just really related it to a situation. And I remember literally putting the book down for a second and being like, I will never need therapy as long as I have books. So this book is about a girl that gets super drunk in Vegas and gets married to somebody that she does not know. And it ultimately just goes through her trying to find this girl, and then she does find the girl, and she kind of just has to work her life through it. I don't really know how else to describe this book because that is literally what it is. It is one of those like what I consider a domestic fiction. I know that domestic fiction means like a woman trying to like work her way through the world, learn her way through the world, which is also sort of like contemporary. Definitely some romance in here. You know, all that good, smart book people things that they say. Yeah, I rated that book 4 stars. The only reason I rated it 4 stars is because I didn't love it. Wait, I definitely said that I said I really liked this book. That's what I said. I didn't say that I loved it. I didn't like love that book. Like I didn't finish it and was like, holy shit, that was fucking amazing. I need to tell everybody about this. I think I have yet to read a book like that. Actually, the only book that I read that was like that was Before I Let Go, and I'm Glad My Mom Died. That was it. The next book that we have is We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. I rated this book 2 stars. The only reason I rated it 2 stars and not 1 star is because it was crazy. I did finish the book and I was like, what the well, actually, no. I'm gonna be completely honest. As soon as I finished the book, my very first words were, what the fuck was that? I will say that there were parts in the book where I was like, wow, like that's actually like, holy shit. Like, wow. Like, wow. That was all I had to say was wow or what the fuck. I felt like because those were my only 2 reactions to this book, that is why it only got 2 stars. I don't really understand why this was so hyped up. Well, actually, no. I think that the reason that it was hyped up is because the plot twist is so crazy, but I just didn't like how racially descriptive the book was. I don't think that it was relevant to the story at all. It really didn't need to be there. 2 out of 5. Moving on, I have Where the Crawdads Sing. Yes, the corner of this is chewed off because of a dog. This was a very boring read. The beginning of the book is literally just her describing her surroundings. Literally just like very in-depth descriptions of trees and plants and different types of shells and animals, and telling us when she's going to get gas for her boat. And I don't know, it was just very descriptive things for so long. Literally half the book, or I'm not going to say half the book, but definitely like the first couple 100 pages are just her describing like her freaking circumstances. And I will say that it was necessary because we really got a feel of like her lifestyle and how she just had to grow up on her own, but it made it super unenjoyable. Super super hard to read. I didn't really enjoy myself. But then I got to the end of the book and I was kind of hooked. I feel like the end of the book was super fast paced, so it was really easy to finish the book. But it took me a while to finish this book because the beginning of it was just like, girl. But then when I saw that there was a movie about it on Netflix, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to finish this book. And I will say, I am always the person to recommend the book over the movie, but this is a case where I recommend the movie over the book. I don't even think the book is worth the read if you're just gonna watch the movie. Just watch the movie. But yeah, this book is about a girl who lives in a marsh with her family, and then eventually her entire family leaves her. So she has to raise herself in the marsh, and this takes place in like the 1950s or something like that. Yeah, this takes place in the 1950s. So it's a 6-year-old raising herself in the marsh, and that's that. And then there's kind of like a mystery aspect of it. The book jumps back between past and present, and in the present time it's telling us about a crime that was committed. Someone who was very well known in the town was murdered, and this is at the time that Kaya, who is the main character, is now like in her 20s. I want to say like her early 20s, maybe late teens, I don't know. The past is like telling us about her life from when she was 6 years old, when her whole family leaves her, and then it kind of just leads up to the murder. That is why I gave it 3 stars though, because of that ending and how fast paced and how the plot just kind of hooked you. But the beginning of that book, I'm so glad that it was not the book, because it would have been a 1 out of 5. Like, I guess that's an example of like a slow burn read. Not a very good one though. So the last book that I have here, oh wait, not the last book, I have one more book. Gilded Ones. Gilded Ones was a book that came in my like TikTok box book talk thing. This book is a YA fantasy. It's about a 16-year-old who, how do I explain this book? I'm just gonna read it to you guys. This is a book that I went into completely blind. I did not know what was going on. I didn't read the synopsis. I had never even heard of the book. I didn't even know what fantasy it was. What fantasy it was. I didn't even know what genre it was. It wasn't until I was on page like 8 or something like that, or like 6, I don't know, that I read a line about monsters and I was like, hold on, what genre is this? And then I realized that it was fantasy. So I'm gonna read it to you guys. 16-year-old Decca lives in fear and anticipation of the blood ceremony that will determine whether she will become a member of her village. Already different from everyone else because of her unnatural intuition, Decca prays for red blood so she can finally feel like she belongs. But on the day of the ceremony, her blood runs gold, the color of impurity, and Decca knows she will face a consequence worse than death. When a mysterious woman comes to her with a choice, stay in the village and submit to her fate, or leave to fight for the emperor in an army of girls just like her. They are called Alakai, near immortals with rare gifts. And they are the only ones who can stop the Empire's greatest threat. Yearning for acceptance, Decca decides to leave the village that has turned its back on her. But as she journeys to the capital to train for the biggest battle of her life, she will discover that the great walled city holds many surprises. Nothing and no one are quite what they seem to be, not even Decca herself. That book is actually really fucking good. What did I rate this book? Oh yeah. I rated this book 3 stars. I changed it to 5 stars. I didn't mean to do that. I'm rating this book 4 stars. Really, 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 really liked it. The only reason I'm not rating it 5 stars is because I didn't fall in love with it. It was not something that I was like raving over when I was finished with it, but I did decide that this was a really good fucking book. I really liked the world building. There's like a subplot of romance in there, and I really liked that too. I think they did a really, really good job at like describing the scenes and everything. Like, I don't know, I felt like I was watching a TV show. So yeah, I really liked that book. It was really good. It was really good. So the next book that I have is Vampire Diaries book 1, and I'm trying to decide if I want to take it out because it came in a case because I have all 13 books. Okay, we're just gonna take it out. You guys are actually sitting on it. Ugh, they're actually so hard to take out. I decided that I'm not gonna go through that, but just know that I have the book and I read it and I rated it 2 stars. I'm surprised because that book was not good. I thought I rated it 1 star. I feel like the only reason I rated it 2 stars is because of the fact that I have watched the show already and it made it a lot easier to read, if not entertaining. I was very much entertained, and I also was able to picture like the setting of everything because I have literally watched the fucking show. Now there's a lot of names that are different. The town name is different. The main character is fucking different. Like everything is different. It's weird. I'm so glad that they did the changes that they did in the show because had it been exactly like the book, yeah, Vampire Diaries would not have the hype that it does, I promise you. But I think because of the show, I was able to enjoy the book a little bit more, and it was really good. It was really good. Wait, I'm lying. It was not really good. It was actually really bad, but I enjoyed myself. For those of you who don't know what Vampire Diaries is about, do you live under a rock? All I'm gonna say is that it's a love triangle between a human and 2 vampires. And we get 13 books out of that and 8 seasons of a show out of it. But that is the end of this book. That is the end of this video. I'm so excited to come at you guys with more videos in the future. I am getting my camera fixed right now, so in the future the quality is going to be a lot better, but it's gonna take a couple weeks for my camera to get back to me. So in the meantime, we're working with what we got, and honestly I don't care because like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm not really here to look good. I'm here to tell you guys about this new hobby that I picked up. Even though I'm not going to be doing another one of these videos until like the beginning of March, I am still going to be uploading book videos for you guys. I'm going to try to get them out to you once a week, but I'm going to be honest, I don't really know how to make book content that much. Like, I don't know. But we're gonna figure it out. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed filming it for you. If you did, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe so that you can be on the lookout for my next video. And yeah, I'm still really bad at outros, so we're just gonna end it here. Bye.